I'm not in support of protest. I have spoken some 3 weeks back, and I issued out warnings. And I said, never allow the protest to commence. The good thing is they gave notice. And despite the long notice, nothing happened until it started. It shows that those who are around the leadership that have allowed it to happen themselves have failed in their duties. I can see clearly negligence. They are not in support of the president, talk less of allowing him to have read such a speech that is away from the grievances outlined by the protesters and their sponsors. So if you push a president to be hitting left while the answer is on the right, then it shows those who misdirected him to the left are his enemies and enemies of the system and the country. Every government or every leadership is saddled with advisors and other arms of government that collectively should look at the state of the nation and present it to the president before a speech is written. So squarely and sincerely, you are hitting points, and at the end of the day, people will have succor. Besides, to every leadership on earth, from the beginning till the end of time, is anchored on two things. One is the confidence of the people to the leadership when their hope is lost, or the hope of the people when their confidence is lost, vice versa, between leadership and the led. So once anything affects the hope and confidence of the people, the leadership must sit back and adjust. And that's the pains I'm having. After all, whosoever emerges, remember our closing remarks at one of the debates we had with some candidates, is to say that whosoever emerges, whatever we were able to have researched and compiled should be seen to be handed over to whosoever emerges, so that there will be entrenchment of democracy, peace in Nigeria, prosperity in all aspects of life in Nigeria, but deeply with investments in our people. Remember, the insecurity you are having are some people's investments. It is lost 20-something years, 24, 25 years today. Many people didn't know the entire evil started in November 1999 till today. And today, this something has bedeviled us. Rather than containing what it started with in 1999, what we are seeing today, it is that it's spreading into other zones of the country. And we are not looking at preparing solutions. Yet, your military, your police are dying in confrontation with some of these ragtag, but definitely there is international connection with internal collaborators. No country can accept that. No country. It's affecting our welfare, well-being, the psyche of our younger ones. The old are not safe. Investors are not free to come to Nigeria. Nobody is willing to come to such environment. We need to sit down together, chart a course, and get it done. And get it done for our collective interest. It's not the role of the president alone. It's not the role of legislature alone. It's our collective assignment. And for us to sit back and see things, or to see the country nosediving down the slope, it is indeed very sad. I therefore, at this point, let me register my sincere condolences to those who died, who were killed in the process, both sides, the protesters and the security agents who have died, those upon whom serious injuries have been afflicted, those who are in hospital, or those who have recovered or are recuperating at home, and then those who also lost their properties, their houses, their shops, local people who have their little shops, probably that's the entire investments they have. And with the effect of what has happened, it shows clearly that it will affect their psyche and affect their businesses in future. So that is why a sincere leadership should never allow crisis to erupt. Leadership means management. And management not from the president alone, governors. But today, shamefully, and I am worried at what I'm going to tell you, is the fact that some in one arm of the government, most of whom have left Nigeria. That is deceitful. That is hypocrisy. That is unacceptable. A leader who is worth being won, is worth being trusted, who is worth to be identified as a patriot, that qualified him to be wherever he is elected into, should stay with the people, manage the people, take the consequences when it happens. After all, when there is negligence and abuses, when out of maladministration, causes of insurgency are promoted, then when it ignites fire, at the end of the day, leadership should stay with you to get it managed. That is what we expect. It's all our collective assignments, and that has to be. This country must be retracted, back on course, not for the sake of Nigeria alone, but for the sake of Africa and humanity.
There is just in the line with what you are saying. There is something strange that shows from this recent protest that Nigeria is witnessing. Surfacing of Russian flag in Nigeria. Does that mean that the northern people don't have trust in Nigeria again?
First of all, go back to history. This same country, Nigeria, unfortunately, from 1999 to date, there were incidences where neighboring countries of Nigeria were used in rigging election, which is worse than military coup. Rigging election, punishing the country, deceiving the country under the guise of democracy is one of the worst offenses any politician can commit to his country. It became a trend. Whenever election comes, some Nigerians were brought in to vote in Nigeria. Is that right? That is rigging. And part of those who are in government today were there as governors when it was happening, and they were part and parcel of mobilizing them and giving them ballot papers to vote. But they are not Nigerians. And today, that particular country you are talking about, a political situation has changed there in such a way that Russia as a country is playing a role of liberating the country. And the citizens of Nigeria are around. And I'm talking to you from what I have discovered. Those that are there believe at their own level of reasoning and thinking and education that if Russia could liberate their country the way they are feeling today secured, then they can as well do it in Nigeria. And so they exhibited that at their level. So now that they have done it, those who cause negligence in Nigeria should understand that the situation calls for expertise management, care, concern to be able to manage it through. The Nigerians that are here, how did they come? How did they come about it? Remember, when there is hopelessness, mankind is always there to look for another possibility of survival. To me, in the psychology of man and the abuses of rights, I'm looking at chapter 2 of our constitution. Then the youth who decided to look for alternative calls for re-examination by leadership to be able to propose solution rather than looking at it the way from you ask this question. That's the way I see it.
Do you see Russia directly playing a role in?
I don't think so. I don't see that. If there is, you have intelligence community in your country, and in their daily occurrence reports, that would have been proper and that would have been presented forward. There is no Russia in it, and if there is Russia in it, there would have been statements by the same government. And so from the little questions we ask before coming to the fore here, is to show that it is the young ones, as I narrated earlier, that came to the fore, believing that at their level, that wherever solution lies, then an individual is ready to look for it so that he can survive. Remember the adage that is universally accepted, that when a drowning man sees a sword, he is quick to put his hand to get himself bailed out. I see it as that, one of such examples.